Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay, so listen, we're just going to talk. I know I'm kind of late, so all right, we're start. We're going to start off with Lisa. Is this is this a Vita Lounge new? Is this okay? Let me slow down. Vita Lounge. That is Lisa's new lounge, or has it already been around? And I probably just didn't know about it. Nonetheless, I saw Vita Lounge on the wall. Um, but I don't remember them mentioning anything like grand opening or anything like that. So maybe it's been around and I just didn't know. Anyways, so she's at I'm assuming it's the Vita Lounge. And she's basically just name dropping people who she has worked with or will work with, and how the girls just don't understand how she's just super busy and has a lot going on. Um, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this about Lisa. Shout out to Team Lisa. Lisa cool. She's a little delulu, but I mean she alright. But the picture that Lisa paints, it's not the picture is not making sense to me. The way that Lisa speaks, and I've said this in the previous review, Lisa speaks as if she lives a lifestyle of a Heather Dubrow, a Lisa Vanderpump, right? That's the way she speaks. Even in the episode when Heather was telling Angie about what she said, about how she just lives this completely different lifestyle, even Angie was like, "No, she doesn't." Like we all pretty much live this, and that's when I look at the show. Now I know the show is what the producers make it, and they leave stuff out and they show us what they want to show us. And there are times that these girls film a whole bunch of stuff, but they may not want to show that. So Lisa could be showing this life that I'm just not privy to or don't know about. But I've never gotten from Lisa Barlow that she's just this girl of, and I move around town and I'm a mover and shaker, and y'all we live different lifestyles. And Lisa gives me very much bootleg jean, cute top, brown hair, you know, a little quick beat, might drive a Land Rover, Range Rover maybe, cute, four bedroom house, 4,000 square feet. Like she's not giving me nothing that the other girls not. Like so I get confused when Lisa talks the way that she talks. I really, really do, because I'm like, girl, what is she talking about? Because Lisa, you don't give none of that. Nothing about Lisa Barlow just screams, I just live a completely different lifestyle than you guys. My life is completely different than you, girl. In what aspect? Okay, girl, you own a lounge. You know how many girls? You know how many people actually own lounges and bars? Yeah. Now, whether they're successful or not, I don't know. But you know how many people own lounges? Baby, go to Atlanta. Baby, it's a bar and a lounge on every corner. Okay? Come to Houston. Baby, it's a bar or a lounge on every street. That don't make you this girl who just like live this like I just have a different life. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Lisa alone for the minute. I did scream though when they were because I didn't catch this the first time. I watched this actually last night, but I was doing some stuff, and so I was walking around my apartment and doing whatever I was doing, and so I was listening to it, and I heard them say, I heard Lisa talking about how she was lawyered up and how they have 6 lawyers. And so when I was watching it just a minute ago, I was looking at my screen, and when the first man popped up, I said, "That man looked familiar." I don't know. And then the second man, I'm like, "Okay." And the third man, I'm like, "Okay." And then they had Claire Huxtable, Annalise Keating, and Elle Woods, and then it finally dawned, of course. Oh, this is, and then it put that these are not her actual lawyers. And I was like, "Oh, the first man. I think that man is from Law and Order, SUV, one of those shows." Anyways, that was a real funny moment. Um, and that was pretty much we're done with Lisa. We'll talk about Lisa in a little bit. Um, Bronwyn and Todd. Bronwyn and Todd go out for lunch, dinner. And she says that Todd has worked on the way that he speaks to her. Todd last year, I did not like the way he spoke to Bronwyn. It was very much, it was just very much kind of like you could tell you could tell who holds the power in that relationship. And it definitely isn't Bronwyn, just by the way he speaks to her. Um, I will say this much too. I do feel like with Todd, it is more of he's like a no nonsense man. Like all the complaining and bullshit, I don't think Todd likes that. I think Todd is one of those people. I hope this makes sense. I think Todd is one of those people where if there's a problem, he's just looking for a solution. All that complaining is going to do what? So, like, for example, Brahma was basically complaining to Todd about Lisa. And Brahma even admits that she just wants, basically, she wants people to like her. And Todd's whole thing is, girl, why do you care? Let it go. Even when she was talking about her mother and her father. So her mother had emergency surgery and moved in with her. Her father has Alzheimer's and he moved in with her. But then it got to the point where I guess it was getting a little too heavy for her to handle. So now he has 24-hour care. They put him in like, I guess like a nursing home. Um, and she was basically trying to thank Todd for basically stepping up financially and taking care of the family. He was just like, he was looking like, and she was like, "No, look at me." You could, it just, he kind of gives like, "Why are we talking about this? Like it's done, basically. Like you told me this is the problem. This is the solution. We're done. You told me that this is the problem with Lisa. I'm telling you, basically, fuck her. We're done." Like he doesn't give me. He's the one to sit around and just complain. What's the problem? What's the problem? And here's the solution. And that's it. I still think he's a little grumpy though. I would like to see, and if that's, I mean, it's kind of like Angela's husband Charles. I would like to see Todd like smile a little bit more. I mean, but that's not, if that's not his personality, that's not his personality. And another thing too with Todd, just like the girl from Potomac K and her fiance from last year, I really do feel bad for these men sometimes because for the most part, it's the women who want to do these shows, and then usually for the most part, their partners are men. Um, and for the men who don't want to do that, like I would, I think that's a part of the problem too, because Todd does not want to do this show. He does not want to do this show at all. Like even when he was at Watch What Happens Live, when Brown was on, I think like last week, he stayed in the back. He didn't even sit in the audience. He came to the building, but he just didn't come out and sit in the audience. So I think that he's doing this to show support for his wife, but I think he really doesn't want to do it, and I think that's a part of the problem too. Like I'm sick of this man being in my face with this camera. I don't want to talk about this anymore. We've already talked about this. Why are we talking about it again? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, um, yeah, Bronwyn says she wants people to like her. I can understand. I will say this much though. And she said something similar to this, like, in this group, like it would be in real life. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. In real life, I wouldn't give a fuck if you like me or not. Because we ain't even gotta see each other no more. Okay? Now, it's one thing we have to see each other, like people you work with, that's another thing, right? But these are people that she works with, and it's a very small circle. And on these shows, you do have to try to find some way to work through your issues, because if not, it will start to fuck up the show. So, I think on top of Bronwyn already having, what's the word I'm looking for? Just issues with being liked. Um, when you also factor in this show, I think it just makes it even worse. But Bronwyn gonna have to fix that because girl, everybody ain't gonna like you, even in this group. Okay, you better go back and watch some of these shows. Okay, the girls gonna beef, girl. They're gonna beef for seasons. Um, Bronwyn and her mother, girl. Oh, Angie went to her father's house. That wasn't really nothing. I mean, Angie went to her father's house. He told the stories of when he was a young boy. It was cute, but it wasn't nothing to write home about. So, anyways, Marge is Bronwyn's mother's name. I'm going to give Marge a pass for right now. I'm still the jury is still out on Marge, but I don't like the way she showed up this first episode. I was just talking about this in my live. So Marge, we were talking about Salt Lake City, and then I was like, I need to go. So, anyways, Marge, of course, is living with Bronwyn. And I already knew that her mother was probably gonna be on some fuck shit as soon as Bronwyn brought her a Coke and she was already complaining about whether it was cold or not. I said, okay, girl, she one of those. The sad part about the conversation was the mother is basically going through the motions of dealing with her husband, and she is traveling back and forth from Utah to California because they are, I think she's going to sell the home and she's packing up the things. And she's just having a hard time, the emotional connection people have to things. Um, and she's having a hard time deciding what to get rid of and what not to get rid of because she really can't ask him. He thinks that, Bronwyn has a daughter named Gwen. He thinks that Gwen is Bronwyn, and he thinks that Gwen is a little. I mean, he thinks that Gwen is Bronwyn, but when he thinks of who Gwen actually is, he thinks that Gwen is a little child, like a little baby still. So it's like it's sad. Um, and so they were just talking about. She was just talking about her feelings and how she felt like she let him down. She got pregnant at 18 years old, and she says her father just wanted the best for her. Girl, can we be honest? I don't want to say too much because I don't want to sound like no asshole. Girl, yeah, I think he wanted the best for her, but it was also because of the position he held at the church. And y'all be so worried about the outside, then y'all be more concerned about the outside than y'all do about y'all motherfucking kids when it comes to that religion. You so busy. The father was so busy trying to impress the deacon and the usher boy down to the church house that he didn't give a fuck about his child. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would have been pissed off too. Don't get it twisted. If I had a child and my child was pregnant at 18, don't get my mama was pregnant at 17. But I'm just saying, if my child was pregnant at 18, I would be livid. Do you hear me? Bitch, I would be done. But I'm not letting no goddamn church also dictate how I move for my child. Now, how I move for my child is how I move for my child, but you ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. Period. Anyways, and then she basically says it took her a while to figure life out. And then the mother says, "Yeah, and you couldn't have gotten there without Todd either." I said, "What the fuck, bitch?" And then she says, "You couldn't get there without a dime." You could tell Brown got very, very panicky. What's the word I'm looking for? Uncomfortable. This is my thing, right? We're not gonna sit here and pretend that Bronwyn is not with that man for his money and that he not with Bronwyn because that's his trophy wife. Anytime I see, especially when a little bit of money is involved, anytime I see a younger girl with an older rich man, I'm already thinking in my head, it's for the shang-a-lang-a-lang. It's for the coin. It's for the coin. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody getting what they want out of the situation. She getting a lifestyle and he got his trophy wife. Boom. We all got an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I don't like the fact that her mother. I was saying this earlier. I don't like when parents try and embarrass their kids on these type of shows, shows period, but especially on these shows where anything that you say these bitches will hold against me. So watch what you say in front of these cameras. You see what I'm saying? I think it's one thing if we're shooting our own show. I have my own spinoff show, and it has to do with my family and my family only, and we're talking. But I think it's a completely different ball game when we're shooting this type of show, and we know how the girls move over here. Because if it was me and I had just saw what your mama said about you basically being broke and your husband being your meal ticket, once we get into a war, that's what the first thing I'm gonna say. Well, even your mama said you wouldn't be out here. Even your mama said you and your daughter be living outside on the motherfucking bridge if it wasn't for your rich ass husband. If it wasn't for your husband, you and your daughter be in a homeless shelter, bitch. You see, that's what I would say. And I'm gonna say your mama said it. Because your mama gave me the ammunition and gave me the ammunition that I needed, girl, to come after your ass. So I don't like when parents get on these shows and say things that could humiliate their children, their daughters, because it's usually the housewives I'm talking about. Um, because I feel like you have enough sense to know what to say. Like you have enough sense to get on this goddamn show. And if we get into an argument, that's fine, or a disagreement, but just watch what you say. And don't come down to this TV trying to embarrass me. We had that happen with Candace and Miss Dorothy. We had that happen with Monica Garcia and her mama. Y'all know I couldn't stand Monica's mama. That lady. I could not stand Monica, and I don't even have those issues. But I don't know why. I don't know why the fuck I was getting triggered, but bitch, I was getting triggered, and I ain't got no issues like that with my mama. So it's just like I didn't like her, and like Marge. I feel like Marge was trying to embarrass Bronwyn a little bit, and then she even went on to say, um, she even goes to say, hold up. Well, I hope. Well, I hope you're okay doing this because you'll be doing this with Todd. I guess she's trying to say, like, since I'm so old and I'm moving in with you and you taking care of me, or you taking care of your daddy, you know, don't get too. You might as well. I don't know if it's don't get too comfortable or get comfortable because bitch, you're gonna do the same thing with your husband. I was like, damn. You're like, even Brown was like, okay, I don't need you to be making jokes about my husband's age. Like the call is coming from the inside of the house. Like, and I was like, okay, girl, your mama doing too much. I thought the mother was doing team too much. I really did. I mean, it wasn't like a Candace and Miss Dorothy, scenario, but I was like, okay, if this is the road we're going down, I can only imagine what will happen if her mother continues to come back to this show, the things that will come out of her mouth. While for us, it gives us something to talk about, but for Bronwyn, girl, that's embarrassing. Don't nobody want their mom on TV embarrassing them. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me see. Oh, Angie goes over to Heather's home. I be trying to tell y'all, I don't have any kids. I don't want any of the motherfuckers either. But I be trying to tell y'all gotta stop making y'all kids y'all whole world. Y'all need to have a life outside of your kids and stop thinking that being a mother and a wife is everything because it's not. Because you know what? Here go Angie. Here go Angie complaining to Heather about basically her daughter growing up and she thinking they're going to be best friends for their entire life. And the daughter is basically, coming into her own. The same thing happened with Kyle on Beverly Hills. I was just put all my life into being a wife and a mother. I just saw Aisha Curry online talking about that, and people was in the comment dragging Aisha like they ain't understand what the fuck she was saying. Y'all know about. Let me shut up. You had Aisha Curry online talking about this just 5 minutes ago. I saw it. You have Kyle on Beverly Hills talking about, I just made my life about being a mother and a wife, and now she's sitting over there in a 12,000 square foot home by herself. Girl, all the kids gone. One of them just got married the other day. Portia got in her Porsche, girl, driving around LA, minding her business, probably about to graduate from high school this year. Mauricio, girl, out here fucking all the hoes in Los Angeles. And Cal still in the closet, girl, low key eating pussy. Don't want to say it, but girl, she in that big ass house by herself lonely. Bronwyn don't want what's her face to move out because her daughter to move out, so she let her move. She let her move her boyfriend in so they can fuck in her house. Girl, that is so crazy to me. But she not ready for Bronwyn to move out. I mean, not Bronwyn. She not ready for Gwen to move out because if Gwen moves out, then what's my identity? I've made my whole identity being a mother. Well, girl, Gwen gonna leave one day. Here go Angie. Girl, the light bulb starting to go off. Oh shit. I thought me and my daughter were gonna be best friends for my whole life. And now she, it's a distance growing between us. Well, girl, you had your daughter sleeping in y'all bed. You and Sean ain't fucking. Where's Sean at? Speaking of Sean, where is Sean old fine ass? Girl. Angie, are you fucking your husband yet? Cause if you not, what you won't do, another bitch will. Or a man. Okay. Baby. That's a fine white man, baby. Okay. You know. Baby, I believe in interracial love, baby. If you fine, you fine. I don't give a fuck if you white, girl, Hispanic, bitch. Bitch, I don't care what you are, what race, ethnicity, nationality, baby. Bitch, Mexican, Dominican, Puerto Rican, bitch, white, bitch, what? Girl. Girl, Japanese, Chinese, bitch, black, bitch, I don't care. Bitch, bust down. So will. Anyways, all right. Um, Heather. Heather tells Angie that she feels a way about Lisa. Oh, she tells Angie about Lisa and how she feels a way about basically basically Lisa letting them know y'all bitches ain't shit. Basically, y'all bitches ain't shit. Y'all don't live the same lifestyle as me. But again, here we go, Heather. You know this is the thing, right? Some of y'all may not know this, but Heather was my favorite. She was. I used to love me some Heather Gay. I did. I thought she was so funny. I just loved Heather. Even though Heather has been a pygmy since season one, I'm not Team Heather anymore, but I don't hate Heather. Girl, here I go. I know some of y'all, but don't click off the video, please. Can I say what I got to say, please? Heather gonna always have a soft spot in my heart because that was my girl at one point. But she just embarrasses me. She do, and girl, she too much of a pick me. I don't hang out with no bitches like that. Okay, if they like you, if they like you. If you don't, then they don't. Okay, if we cool, we cool. If we ain't, we ain't. Girl, I ain't begging no bitch to be my friend, and that's just what it is. Girl, and Heather, and it's so crazy because Heather is a pick me to one of the most basic people on the cast. I think that's what makes me pissed off at Heather. It does. I can see if Heather was a pick me for a bitch who got some power. You know what I'm saying? For a bitch who really can make some shit shake, like a Kathy Hilton. Kathy Hilton got some power. When Kathy Hilton cut up and acted a fool in Aspen, Colorado, and we every season we see audio, we see tapes, videos, tapes, we hear audio. When these girls think that they're not being recorded, they are, and we always see it. Whether it's with Phaedra doing when she said that Shamil was out here fucking Candy and Todd, or whether it was the girls in South Carolina when Portia said, "One of you bitches gonna eat my pussy tonight." Remember that, girl? They thought they covered up all the cameras, but they forgot about the cameras that were on the outside of the house, right? Whether it's whether it's Monique when the cameras went down and we heard her telling her and Candace getting into it. Remember it was season 5 at the beginning of the season. Whether it's Wendy when Wendy was forgot she was still mic'd up and was basically saying that Mia was a goddamn lie about having cancer. The point I'm trying to make is we catch that they catch this stuff all the time. So the fact that Kathy Hilton cut up and act a fool and we ain't seen or heard nothing shows you the power that Kathy Hilton has. You mean to tell me Kathy cut up the way that Lisa say she cut up? We ain't got no audio from the van. We ain't got no audio or footage from the house. Nowhere. Anybody else y'all would have showed it. So the point I'm trying to make is y'all know I'm a little long winded. If y'all new to my channel, I'm long winded sometimes. Girl, call me Dorit. Sometimes it takes me a long time to land the plane, but we eventually landed. Yeah, me, Dorit, Quad, we all like cousins. Okay. So, anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, if Heather was a pick me for a bitch with some power, I could at least try to understand it a little bit. I could try to wrap my head around. Okay, I see why you fuck with Kathy, because Kathy got some power, and Kathy could probably do you something. You know what I'm saying? Kathy could probably get you into a door that you can't get into. So you probably put up with Kathy bullshit because you're trying to get to C, and you can't get to B. So if you can get through B, then you get to C. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's move on. Fuck Heather. Um, what happened with Lisa? Oh, I put what happened with Lisa and Angie. I did think Lisa and Angela. I thought Lisa and Angela were good, but clearly they're not. I thought they were fine. I thought they had made up and everything. Maybe I missed something at the reunion, child. Did they fall out? Did they fall back out at the reunion? That's probably what it was. I don't know. Let me know, y'all. So Lisa basically has a luncheon for the ladies. When I said this luncheon was a hot ass mess. Um, Lisa has posters all around the room. She invites the ladies to lunch. They didn't know that they were going to be coming for basically a science girl, a poster board project, a PowerPoint presentation. So she has posters all around the room, big, 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 big posters blown up. And one of the posters has dismissal, and it has the case. Basically, that's what most of the poster boards had. And then one poster board had a picture of her and John on a yacht, and then another picture had another poster board had a picture of her and John sitting front row at a basketball game. I don't think it was necessarily courtside, but I think because you could tell by the seats, and Brown pointed that out. Now, I ain't never been to a basketball game. I never wanted to go, and I've never sat courtside. Clearly, if I've never been to a basketball game, but I think courtside seats are usually like foldable chairs, and where Lisa was sitting, it gave that she was probably sitting behind courtside. You see what I'm saying? But that still doesn't show. I guess Lisa's trying to show them. I guess this is Lisa's way of trying to show them, look, I live a different life than you. I'm on a yacht. I'm at the basketball game on the first row. Girl, like, if that still does not prove that you live a completely different lifestyle than them. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Um, Lisa says today is all about me. Today is dedicated so you guys can get some clarity, get complete clarity. That's what she said. And so Bronwyn says, dismiss because you paid them back. And then Lisa says, no, dismiss because it's none of your fucking business. I said, wait, bitch. You just said, I said, wait, hold up. You just said, Lisa, today is dedicated to you guys so you can get complete clarity. And then when Bronwyn asks a question, dismiss because you paid them back, you say, no, dismiss because it's none of your fucking business. I'm not gonna lie, I screamed. I said, baby, Lisa just want to argue. Because you just want to argue. But I do have to say, let me say this. Allegations, the truth of the matter is, whether we're talking about, you know, Steph, Stefan Diggs, Puffy, Nikki, Cardi, Lisa Barlow, Kenya, whomever we may be talking about. An allegation is an allegation. An allegation is not facts. Okay? Now when you got too many allegations, okay, and depending on what the allegation is, I'm still gonna take heed. It's one thing if the allegation is, girl, you know, she be late. But the allegation is, girl, let me shut up. This ain't even that video. But Lisa is right. An allegation is not a fact. An allegation is an allegation. Anybody really can sue anybody. Um, but you a case being dismissed does not necessarily mean that you were innocent. Um, there could be a plethora of reasons of why the case was dismissed. It could be you paid somebody off. It could be the person didn't show up to court. Um, it's not an automatic. Now, I guess for you, for the person, I think for any of us, if a case was dismissed against us, girls, it got dismissed. We good to go. I don't give a fuck. Girl, I'm going home. So I guess for Lisa, it really doesn't matter. But it doesn't say, that doesn't necessarily mean that nothing happened. Something still could have happened. So Lisa, I think they're trying to say, girl, this don't mean shit. I mean, they got dismissed, but I mean, girl, okay. So, anyways, um, she basically said this is a fanciful tale. That's what my lawyer calls it. When Angie said, I don't know what Lisa's talking about. I'm sorry. I'm snorting. Sorry. Hold up. When Angie said in her confession, I don't know what Lisa's talking about. She thinks this is a princess. Well, she said she thinks she's a princess in a story with a happy ending. It's not a goddamn fairy tale. You're not wearing a princess dress. When you go bippity boppity boop, the cases don't disappear. I don't know why that cracked me up. This is not a goddamn fairy tale. Okay? You are not a goddamn princess. I know that's right, Angie. Um, Angie says, basically, you open up this door when you talked about Bronwyn. And I'm telling y'all, why it's fucked up. The housewife world is a different type of world. You open up a door, you better be ready because it's a bitch that's going to bust that hoe down. Lisa, even though Bronwyn was lying about that necklace or buying the necklace or returning the necklace or whatever, you opened up the door when you started telling Bronwyn's business. So while it's fucked up because this is Lisa's actual business, right? It still doesn't take away from the fact that you passed the first lick. It's like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Girl, now we at where we at. Now we at where we at. You passed the first lick. Now it's kind of like Kenya, right? People start with Kenya and then Kenya go to a whole nother level and the girls be like, oh my God, but you started it. That's what happened with Bronwyn and Lisa. That's what I feel like that's what happened with Bronwyn and Lisa as far as like the telling my business stuff. You told my business, bitch, I'm telling yours. And then Bronwyn says, you called me a whore. You said I suck dick for money. Now, Lisa didn't actually use that verbiage, but she kind of insinuated it, which I feel like Lisa lost that argument anyways. I was talking about this like last week when I went live. Lisa trying to shame Bronwyn for sucking her husband's dick. Girl, shut up. I really thought that was stupid because this is not an opinion. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. Women all the time, not every woman, there are a large percentage of women out there who will tell you, girl, let me go fuck this nigga so I can get the money to go on this trip. Girl, let me go fuck this nigga so, girl, I can sneak these bags into the house and I put them to sleep. Girl, let me go fuck this nigga so, girl, when the bills come, he won't see how big, he won't see how much my Amex card is. Girl, that happens all the time. Is whether some of y'all want to believe it or not, it does. Girl, again, that's not my opinion, that's a fact. So Bronwyn saying, "Oh, I had to give Todd fellatio, so when the Amex bill comes, he doesn't see how big it is." It might be some truth to that, okay. But at the end of the day, it's still her husband, and you're not going to shame someone on the Real Housewives, a show, even though we know that every woman is not necessarily a housewife, because really and truly they don't have a lot of housewives on this show. Bronwyn might be the only bona fide housewife as of right now um, on Salt Lake City. Would Mary be considered a housewife? I don't know. Um, but you can't really What Lisa tried to do last week was she tried to basically embarrass Bronwyn for being a housewife and her husband taking care of her. Girl, y'all on the Housewife show. The show was supposed to be about at least women who are taken care of by their husbands. So you trying to make Bronwyn feel bad on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City about her husband taking care of her, to me, is actually insane. And how the fuck are you going to shame Bronwyn for her husband paying her American Express bill when you went and got a whole nother man allegedly to give you an American Express? That's the Delulu that Lisa lives in. Anyways, did y'all hear when Heather said? Now Heather trying to get her lick back at Lisa. Heather says Bronwyn dropped a lot of facts about Lisa that you wanted to have a luncheon to clarify. So let's talk about it. Heather said Bronwyn dropped a lot of facts. That's what Heather said. Bronwyn dropped a lot of facts about Lisa that you wanted to have a luncheon to clarify. So let's talk about. Oh, so now it's facts, girl. So now it's facts, Heather. Oh, so now you mad at your mouser. Now you mad at Regina. Now you mad at the HBIC. And now you want to get your lick back. So now Bronwyn was telling facts last week or the first week when y'all was on a camping trip. Okay, girl. They keep mentioning Jen Shaw. Baby. Now this is why I was with Lisa on this one though. I'm team Lisa with this one. Whitney. Whitney, if you don't shut your motherfucking mouth, you can't say a goddamn thing to me about nobody's business. When you and your husband, or at least you, were over there, girl, scamming the girls and boys with necklaces that cost $2.99 and was charging the girl $79.99, and now your whole business done got shut down. I was with Lisa, girl. You the last person to say a goddamn thing to me, girl. The last, the last. Whitney ain't got no room to open her mouth to ask no questions about nothing. Good, not a goddamn question. Now you could ask, but girl, I'm gonna let you know, girl. You might want to be careful. Now I heard Lisa say something about the jewelry, but I think she was cursing so much that they kept bleeping it out, so I couldn't make out what Lisa was saying. But I think she said something about the jewelry. Whitney got very, very pissed off. Her and Lisa got into a screaming match. This girl, I said, baby, y'all bitches is a little too handsy for me, girl. That damn sure could have been no goddamn Atlanta, because them girls would have been fighting. They would have tore that whole restaurant up. Bitch, all I know is Whitney walked up and then walked behind Lisa, and she was doing this. I think she was clapping her hands. Like Lisa was sitting down. Whitney was on the other side of the table. Whitney got up, walked around the table, got right here behind Lisa. They're arguing back and forth. And Lisa is basically like, get out of my face, which I would have done too. Like, bitch, why are you in my motherfucking face, girl? And then, she also threw a napkin before when Whitney stood up, she threw a napkin at Lisa. Then Lisa threw the napkin back, and that's when Whitney walked around the table and was standing I'm not exaggerating, standing right behind Lisa over her shoulder. But they started getting into an argument, and then I think Lisa like pushed her, like, girl, move. And then Whitney kind of like pushed her hand away, but then Whitney like walked away and was like, I'm just so triggered. I said, girl, they got some real restraint on Salt Lake City, because that definitely wouldn't have went that way. Girl, if that was Potomac or Atlanta, girl, that wouldn't have went that way, baby. By the time Whitney even tried to stand over me, girl, we would have been tussling. Girl, Whitney was really in that lady's space. I didn't like that. I mean, it was funny. I mean, I kind of figured they wasn't gonna do shit. Lisa ain't fighting nobody. Whitney ain't fighting nobody. But girl, don't come in my face like that, sister. Please stay across that table. Girl, it's already bad enough you threw a napkin at me. Okay, girl, whatever. I'm not worried about this napkin. But girl, please don't come over here yelling in my face. Girl, please don't. Please don't. Anyways, Oh, and then Meredith. They tried to say that Meredith wasn't talking. This is the thing. Meredith basically said Meredith wasn't wrong because when Whitney jumped in, Meredith jumped in basically, and then when Meredith jumped in, Whitney said, "Oh, so now you want to talk? So now you want to talk?" At the when Bronwyn was basically telling them all the business, Meredith did say, "I feel like Meredith could be a friend." We barely even talk about Meredith. I feel like this is gonna be Meredith last season. Meredith just be fading into the background. Maybe she might pick it up in a few episodes, but Meredith is giving me like friend of. Girl, she not even giving me friend of. She giving me girl. She can lead the show. And girl, Meredith was another one of my girls too. Anyways, but Meredith basically said, let's not talk about Lisa. We need to talk about let's ask her the questions face to face when she's here. That's what Meredith said. And I don't think anything was wrong with that. I think they wanted Meredith to jump into the conversation and constantly defend Lisa. But maybe there isn't a defense that Meredith could give. Maybe Meredith felt the right thing to say was, let's not talk about Lisa. We can do this when she's present. But because the conversation continued, they're trying to act as if Meredith basically just didn't say anything. And so I guess technically after that, she didn't. But she also told y'all, let's not talk about Lisa. Let's do it when she gets here. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, girl, and then Amy, the white lady, the rich white lady, she trying to be seen, but it's not really working. Girl, I kept forgetting she was there. And did y'all hear when she low key threw Lisa under the bus too? Did y'all hear when she said, "Well, they technically had a business together"? I said, "Girl, now she's telling Lisa's business." Whoop. So I think Lisa really did. I think Lisa really did. It might be, it might not be as black and white, but I think it's something there with that American Express. And Amy pretty much kind of sealed the deal for me when she threw that statement out there. All right, y'all. I'm done talking. Girl, I'm tired. I've been talking all day. Girl, we went live earlier. We went live at 5:20, and then my internet was tripping, and then I got off at 6. Then I came back at 6:10. Was it 6:15? And then we didn't get off to what? Almost 9 o'clock, like 8:45. And then I just watched Atlanta, not Atlanta. Girl, I can't even think of the show. I just watched Salt Lake City, and I have to do this review. I'm done. My mouth is dry. I'm tired of talking. Okay. I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.